The Comparable Uncontrolled Price Cup method is one of the most robust transfer pricing techniques, commonly used to ensure that the pricing of goods, services, or intellectual property between related entities adheres to the arm's length principle. This principle, which underpins the field of transfer pricing, mandates that transactions between related parties must be comparable to those that would occur between unrelated parties under similar market conditions. The CUP method's direct price comparison mechanism makes it a valuable tool, although its practical application can be challenging due to the need for highly comparable data. In this video, we will explore the key features, application, and challenges of the CUP method, and discuss how it can be effectively utilized in different transfer pricing scenarios. The CUP method compares the price charged in a controlled transaction, a transaction between related entities, to the price charged in a comparable uncontrolled transaction, under comparable conditions. This comparison helps determine whether the prices charged between related parties are consistent with market standards. This method is particularly effective when there is a high degree of similarity between the controlled and uncontrolled transactions. Some of the factors that influence comparability include the nature of the product or service, contractual terms, economic conditions, and the functions performed by each party in the transaction. The most distinct feature of the CUP method is its focus on direct price comparison. The method operates under the assumption that the price paid in an uncontrolled transaction between independent parties can serve as a reliable benchmark for the price that should be charged between related entities. The CUP method can be applied to a broad range of transactions, including tangible goods, services, and intellectual property rights. However, its effectiveness depends heavily on the availability of comparable uncontrolled transactions. The CUP method can be applied using either internal or external comparables. These two approaches offer flexibility in finding the right benchmark for a transaction. This occurs when a multinational enterprise has completed a similar transaction with an independent third party. If the transaction is comparable in terms of product, function, and market conditions, it provides an ideal benchmark for applying the CUP method. Internal comparables are often easier to use, as the data is usually more accessible and adjustments are less likely to be needed. When an internal comparable is unavailable, an external CUP can be used. This approach relies on identifying similar transactions between independent third parties in the same or comparable markets. However, this may require access to databases of market transactions or industry reports, and it is often more difficult to find highly comparable data externally. External comparables can be especially challenging when dealing with highly customized or unique products and services. While the CUP method is conceptually straightforward, its practical application comes with several hurdles. The high degree of comparability required for the CUP method means that even minor differences between transactions can undermine its reliability. One of the most significant challenges of applying the CUP method is the difficulty in identifying truly comparable uncontrolled transactions. For many types of goods and services, especially those involving intangibles or proprietary technologies, it can be nearly impossible to find an uncontrolled transaction that mirrors the controlled transaction in every relevant aspect. For instance, two seemingly identical products may differ significantly in their contractual terms or geographic market, which can distort the comparability of the transaction. When exact comparables are not available, adjustments can be made to account for differences. However, these adjustments introduce a layer of subjectivity into the analysis and may be disputed by tax authorities if they are not deemed reasonable. Adjustments for differences in market conditions, geographical scope, and volume can make the CUP method more complex to apply. The cup method is particularly difficult to apply in cases involving unique or highly customized products, services, or intellectual property. For transactions involving intangible assets, where comparables may not exist, alternative methods like the transactional net margin method, TNMM, may be more appropriate. To maximize the effectiveness of the cup method and minimize the risk of disputes with tax authorities, companies should adhere to a number of best practices. Companies should thoroughly document all comparable uncontrolled transactions used in their cup analysis. This includes maintaining records of the product specifications, market conditions, and contractual terms involved in each transaction. Proper documentation will be crucial in defending the transfer pricing arrangement during an audit. It is essential to ensure consistency in applying the cup method across different transactions and over time. Inconsistent application of the cup method can raise red flags with tax authorities and increase the likelihood of disputes. When differences between transactions exist, companies should ensure that any adjustments made to account for these differences are reasonable and well documented. Use third-party market data and industry reports to justify adjustments. The cup method remains one of the most direct and transparent approaches to establishing arm's-length pricing in transfer pricing. While it offers strong advantages in terms of comparability and defensibility, the method also presents challenges, particularly in finding truly comparable transactions and making appropriate adjustments for differences. For companies with access to reliable internal or external comparables, the cup method can be a powerful tool in demonstrating compliance with transfer pricing regulations. However, when comparables are scarce or non-existent, companies may need to explore alternative transfer pricing methods. Regardless of the method chosen, robust documentation and consistency in application are key to ensuring that transfer pricing arrangements withstand scrutiny from tax authorities. By understanding the nuances of the cup method and following best practices for its implementation, companies can effectively manage their transfer pricing risks and maintain compliance with international tax regulations.